All right, so friends, we do have some guests in our classroom. That means that we're going to pay attention. We're going to ask questions, answer questions, listen to what we've got going on. I'm going to share probably a little bit. We are just talking about Sitka Jazz Week today. And this is my band 2 class, and this is the people who are the most accessible to come and be a part of it next year. I've got lots of different kinds of instruments. Many of them are in jazz class right now, although we're on a little bit of a pause, but they're all great musicians. And
First of all, I want to introduce Mr. Carter to Heather Gluth, the music teacher, and also want to make an official introduction and thank Mr. Carter for your generous support last year for Sitka Jazz Week. And we had a fantastic week, and the students were doing amazing. And I think, is anyone in the classroom who has joined us last year?
Who's been to Sitka Jazz Week? Raise your hands. Raise them high because it's a little tiny thing. So we have Kate, David, Jack, Amanda, and Torin have all went to Sitka Jazz Week.
Oh, great. Yeah.
I'm trying to fix, but yeah, you just keep talking. I'm going to fix over here what I got going on.
Yeah, that's all right. I just want to make sure that we actually meet in person. We didn't have a chance to meet in person last year. And Ron Carter is my mentor. If you never heard of Ron Carter, he's the most recorded bass player, upright bass player. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records, and he has been around for a very long time. And, he was already famous, but he joined in the early 60s a great quintet, the famous Miles Davis Quintet. And Miles Davis happened actually to be one of my favorite musicians who always inspired me. But I'm not a trumpet player, I'm a bass player. So I took lessons with Mr. Carter for 6 years, and he showed me everything. And still shows me more about the instrument, the music. And it's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Ron Carter.
Hello, kids. And I call you kids because you're quite a bit younger than I am, and I mean really younger than I am, like kids younger than I am, like I'm probably old as your grandparents. That doesn't mean I can't be productive, and I enjoy teaching. I just came in from a record day where I spent 3 hours recording some Brazilian Afro songs for a writer for a new film. Did 8 songs in about 2.5 hours because he had a small budget and I had a little time. It was very successful. Mr. Fabian I've known for quite a while. He's leader of a band, the Lionel Hampton jazz band. It's a pretty good jazz band. And I was able to give him some recommendations and some people to talk to who would find some more work for the band. They sound good on the samples he sent me. And you are lucky. Consider yourself very special to have him become involved in your community and especially involved in your jazz life. He's learning every more day how to play the bass and even better, how to be a band leader. And that's really important when you're trying to make work, trying to make friends, trying to network. You know that word, network? Are you guys hip to that word? No one knows what network means when you go out to meet people who can connect you with jobs you want to play. It's called networking. 10 words. That's not 10 letters. That's not too difficult. Come on, kids.
You can hear Mr. Carter?
Yeah, they can hear him. They look stunned.
Now, I'm just telling him I'm going to move him for a second, and I should fix it.
We're working on it.
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
But you can hear us?
Yes.
Good.
I'm trying to make it hear better.
Yeah, Mr. Carter was just explaining what networking means. And it's for the younger generation, maybe not as familiar term. And because a lot of these things today happen on the phone and social media. But here we go. Now you see your screen from behind.
I know. We're just getting you closer to a place.
Oh, great.
Okay, how's that?
Okay.
All right. How bad is it?
Perfect.
That's fine. Come on. As you know, I see some of the kids acting like kids, I guess, and then raising their hands and waving at me. Uh, rather than wave at like it don't rather than uh-oh, there he is.
Oh, it's
That's okay. Rather than a young man, rather than doing like this to me, just ask me a question. Just ask me a question.
Ask a question. Yeah.
Ah, so you want to fool around, but you don't want to ask a question. Come on.
All right, we can hear you just fine now.
Yeah, come on, young man, young man with the hand magic. Let's go.
I can't remember if you told us this already, but how long have you been playing your instrument? And do you play any others?
I'm a serious player. I started playing when I was 12 years old, playing cello, and I kept playing cello until my senior year in high school, which was January 1955. I've been playing bass. I'll be 89 this year. So those of you who can do this and make subtraction at the same time, you will figure I'm going on 89 years old, and I've been playing over 70 years, longer than your grandparents. So that's what I do. I've been earning a living. I've kind of made a lot of nice records. I've met a lot of great people. I always consider going to work at night, going to school free, because all those people I play with helped me understand music better, helped me understand the business of music. They were in a position to give me advice when I had a question that I had no idea how to solve this issue I had. Mentor, that's what I was look for towards. And the more I talked to my friends who were substantially older, the more I understood that, one, I really like this music. And two, I'm getting really good at it. And they let me know that the gooder I get, the more work I get, and more money. All those things are very important to me. So right now I'm thinking about maybe doing a little less work and staying more in New York where I live. And I have a site called Ron Carter Jazz. If you go on my site, you can find out what I do. And if you can, I'll give you a site personally that is free. I know you hold your hands tight and not being like this, everybody, but those of you who aren't doing this, if you can just take your iPhones out, your iPads out, or iPhones, and write down this site. And write down this site, or do it like this. I'll give you each letter slowly so you can do it. Ready? On three. 3. R O N C A R T E R U N I V E R S E. Ron Carter Universe. And when you find that one more. Ready? A little less letters, so I know your thumbs are kind of tired. R O N C A R T E R Jazz. Jazz. Now the first site, if you've already done it, it's a universe with all the stars and planets. And those of you who've already done it and see what that is, all those dots, ladies and gentlemen, I can call you that now and not offend you. All those stars, ladies and gentlemen, are records that I am on and their personnel. That list is probably 1,500, and we're adding more every day. The Guinness Book of Records is 2,215, I think.
that's old.
Yeah, I'm adding them every week. And the second one, Ron Carter Jazz, just give you a little history and background about what I do, where I am, my schooling, how long I've been playing music, what else do I do? Do I have any hobbies? A real bird's eye view of me. So, I know you're looking a little distracted and bored. This will wake you up. And this will make you
Yeah.
not have time to do this.
Mr. Carter, one quick question. Like in their, when you were their age, how much did you practice every day your instrument?
At least 2 hours every day. No visits to grandma's house. No outdoor picnics that got in the way of practice time. I would do 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour after my chores. I'm from a large family of a brother and 6 sisters, 8 kids. And of course, we kind of shared the responsibility of house things, doing the dishes, buying groceries, shoveling snow, cutting the grass for our neighbors as well as us. We had a very active home life. Our parents insisted that if you want to get good at this thing called music, you got to put the time in. And they allowed us time to maybe take 5 minutes off of our chore time to get some extra time in. I love them. I miss them. They've been gone quite a while, but they're still in my spirit. And I represent the kind of child I think that they would be very happy to say, yes, he's one of my kids.
And then the other thing I heard you say always, get a teacher. Wherever
Yes.
you are, just get a teacher.
Yeah. You know, a lot of kids think, Mr. Fabian, that if you play real loud and hard, you must be into something. Yeah, you end up being dumb. It's kind of uncomplicated. And once you realize that the competition in New York, certainly, is really stunning. I've always thought that every bus that comes into New York from somewhere, there are two guys trying to take my job. And I'm not going to allow that to happen. So I'm going on 79. I've been practicing for over 70 years, almost 2 hours a day when I was not traveling. And I've decided, kids, because that's what you are, that no one's going to play better than I. To make that work, I got to have the proper tools. I got to sharpen my tools every day. I got to be responsible for getting to the jobs on time. I got to shut my mouth and understand what the leader's trying to ask me or tell me to do. I tell my kids who are your age category, when you leave for your first job, leave your ego at home and bring a spare pair of ears. If you can do that, you get some gigs. If you really play good, you get more. I've been lucky to say that I took my own advice, and I'm getting gooder. I'm getting better, and I get calls because I'm responsible. I help the band sound good. I represent the things that I want them to emulate when they're in my groups, when they're in my band. At some point, my bands were disbanded because guys found other gigs or retired, you know. And I had a audition for the bass chair in my band. I was playing with a piccolo bass, a small bass, and I gave the guys who were on the audition for my band as bass players, I gave them the band book, which is the song list and arrangements of music I had written for the band. That was their job. That if you want to join in my band, you got to play this music. So I gave it out, and a week later, I made some appointments with 6 or 7 guys who said they wanted to join the band and they wanted to audition. Because this is what happened. The first person came in an hour late. Now, I don't care how good he could have played. He already got himself fired. Because there's somebody outside waiting for that job. The second guy came in, and he was bringing a cup of iced coffee. You know, I said, wait, this is not a restaurant, man. This is my home, my little studio. How come you bring iced coffee to my house, man? That's like taking a sandwich to a banquet. No, don't do that. So right away, we had a different vibe on being corrected. The third person, he said that, you know, I read your music, but let me interpret it. I said, no. I want you to play what I wrote. That's interpreting what I wrote. If you can't play what I'm hearing because I gave you notation, then how can you be in my band? It turns out what I have to do if I hire you, I have to play only the songs that you know and you play. But the band is called Ron Carter Quartet. Oh, I see. Oh, I got that. So the band would now be called Ron Carter Quartet plays the music of Ralph Jackson. Only. All the time, forever. That's not going to do good. Come on, man. So he didn't work out. The last person came in 45 minutes early. He bought his own bass. He had practiced the parts at his house and sounded just fabulous. He's been the bass player in my groups for 30 years. And he makes very, very good money. I trust him with my car. I trust him with my bass. I trust him driving my wife to the store for shop for groceries. He is my dear friend. Now, if you want someone who's going to be that close to you, they got to bring something to the table.
Yeah.
And my bass player brings he brings a mindset that in lockstep with what I do. My hopes, my gains for life, my responsibility of paying my bills, my responsibility for if the band leader wants a suit for tomorrow night, I got a suit. Oh, by the way, one other thing that disqualifies some of these young men who were trying out for my band, a couple of them said that they don't wear suits anymore in the gigs. You know? I said, what do you mean you don't wear suits? I said, well, that's not my thing, and I like the little more casual look. I said, well, you need to just casual your ass out of here because that's not going to work in my neighborhood. So they didn't get the gig because they didn't want to wear a suit. Come on.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Are you in Newark?
Yeah.
And you can tell me you can take a job on the uniform, whatever it's called, is a dark suit, white shirt, and a black tie, because you don't want to wear that. You're going to turn down this job? You'll laugh in New York about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Because there are 4 guys waiting for you who have 2 suits each.
Yeah.
And they're prepared to wear a tuxedo or
Yeah.
a dark suit.
One quick question for the students. Why do you think for the next generation we are looking at, why is music so important to go into? I think to me, music, it changes my being, my outlook on life. It makes me happy. It feels great to play with other musicians. But for the next generation, why do you think music is really essential as being parts of someone's life?
I think that the newer generation, they've forgotten how to talk to each other. I think it's important to express to someone a feeling. It's important to have the skills that you can write a sentence like a book. Excuse me, that must be my sock broker. Hold on.
Yeah, I think about it, questions or two, Heather, I think what I always feel is important to talk about music, in my case, quick, it's music really uplifts my spirit. I could walk into a band room and be all down on myself, and after we play music together, I feel like uplifted. I hope you guys have the same experience, but I want to hear what Mr. Carter. I hope you made a good stock trade.
Yeah. SOCKS, stocks. My friend, I'm known for wearing some outrageous socks, and if I had time, I'd show you some of them that are pretty far out. It makes my feet dance when I'm standing still.
Yeah.
You put them on and you dance automatically. My wife loves those socks. That's the only time she thinks I'm going to start dancing.
I got some happy socks from you.
Yes,
I still have them.
Yeah,
I don't wear them because I don't want to get holes in those socks.
well, there are already 2.
Yeah.
Kids don't get those kind of old folks humor. But you have 2 holes in your socks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I get it.
You got it. Right. Yeah. Did my friend get it?
Troy, you got it.
Okay. One of the things I found as a teacher, giving lessons to a student who wants to get better at something, to have them have a successful lesson, to have them play a successful concert, to have them join a group of people who are like-minded in performance skills and pleasing the audience. Music does all those things because you're in a group of other people. That's very uncomplicated. It does a lot of, it makes you not have these emotional down times. It makes you able to play some of your troubles away. I know I've had some difficult times in my life and social scenes that are really awful from my point of view, and I have to go to rehearsal. Well, this rehearsal helps me put this terrible view of the world I'm looking at far enough away so I can find some nice notes. I can feel good about myself, which is really important. And I can share these positive vibes with my friends who are now in my band or that group. And we have a place to share these feelings that are almost embarrassing to talk to out loud. But these are my friends. And as my friends, I trust that they will, two, listen to me with an open mind, and one, offer me some kind of suggestion that is kind of beyond my grasp. You know, it's been proven that scientists say that music helps you do math better. It helps you become more social with groups. It helps you yawn. When you give them a lecture, you just kind of yawn, like my friend in the front row did just now. Oh, look who, yeah, you're the one who smiled just now. Yeah, come on. What do you play? Can I talk to you? The young lady in the front row with a smile. What do you play?
I play percussion.
You what?
Percussion.
What kind of percussion?
The snare drum.
Can I
Snare
see?
drum. Yeah.
Okay. No. She has her. It's her time now. And
Okay.
she has the energy to yawn and be on the scene. Now your chance for you to express your thoughts. That's what music can do for you. One of the many things they can do for you. You know? I'm learning how to talk to the audience with my band. You know, the guy said, and Mr. Carter, they want to see you play, but they want to hear your voice. They want to hear your thoughts. And I've been playing long enough that I have some thoughts. And I've learned how to share them. Being a musician has made that possible, to understand what words can do, how to express your thoughts with a feeling other than iPhone or TikTok or TokTik. What's it called?
TikTok.
Yeah, TokTik. Yeah, same. If you stand backwards, it's TikTok. And you forward, it's TokTik. Yeah, so I think that you guys are very fortunate to have someone who is so dedicated to teaching you. And as a bonus, he really plays good and often. So I think that at some point, when you finish a performance and a class, you should stand up, all of you, and turn around to wherever he is and do this. Congratulate him for having such a great time teaching you. And you happy because he's taught you things that you cannot get anywhere else but in his class with him being in charge. That's what grown-ups do. I'm not sure you guys are ready for that stage in your life, being called a grown-up, like being the only adult in the sandbox, Well, look, I know I've taken your time, and I'm sure some of you are rather glad that I'm about to say goodbye. Those of you who are sad to see me go, ooh, I'm sorry, I think I'm wrong. So, Miss Teacher, I didn't get your name, but I thank
It's
you.
Heather.
Heather.
Heather. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for having the space in your life and your time to order these kids, make an order for them, and help them take a path to their life that'll make them productive citizens, have a good life, and come hear me play and enjoy the music I make. Thank you, Heather, for being here for them and for making this work. Yeah, somebody's hand just shot up, Heather. Sorry. What?
Hello, my name's Jack. I'm a bass player. I started playing electric bass about 4 years ago. And one thing I really love asking people who've been playing the bass for many years is, like, what are something that, like, when you say you practice 2 hours a day, what do you do in those practice hours?
Depends on if I have a teacher. Depends on if I have a band to learn their library. Depends on how interested I am in really getting busy, something to do, get better at my craft and not using practice to avoid doing house chores or homework or other things that fill your life like dates and hanging out, One of the things I practice is my last assignment. I have my teacher write out all the comments he made during my lesson. Because he tells me that's the second best teacher, his lesson. So I have them read the lesson before they play. And my job as a student is to follow exactly the instructions that my teacher has laid out for me in plain English that I had to write. And my terrible penmanship, because I'm doing this all day, he's going to trust that I will follow his instructions. And the next lesson we have will be based on the improvements he recommended to me. So the next lesson will not be a chore, and he won't be embarrassed to sound no better than the last week. I practice scales. I practice etudes. I've written several books on how to play the bass, and I'm constantly reviewing that for other exercises, better books. I have I think there's some innovative things I do with my books. One thing is I have a QR code. You know what a QR code is? Yeah. I have each page of my lesson book has a QR code that shows me playing the exercise. So when you buy my book, and they're not free and no discounts, when you buy my book, you turn to that page 7, with the first position, and it shows me, and I have notes and stuff like that, and it shows me when you hit this QR code, it shows me playing the same exercise you're trying to learn how to play. Great pictures, great photography. I'm wearing a great sweater. The bass sounds really beautiful. And my younger students who are just learning how to be a student, they found a big help that since they have a person on site in terms of this QR code that's always available to them. Whenever the feeling strikes their head that, well, let me just do this QR shit, whatever that is, and see if I can make it work. You know? Okay, it works. That they have enjoyed that process. I very seldom just practice just to make sounds. That doesn't interest me. I want a set of right notes that make people stop in their tracks and listen to what I just did. I learned melodies from popular songs. Even the Beatles songs are kind of popular. I have a teacher who I trust his judgment. When he says it's sharp, or the performance wasn't very good, I don't run home and tell my mom, Mom, the guy said I played there. No. Yes, you played terrible. Grow up. You want some help? You make yourself get better. One of the things that distresses me most is kids haven't learned how to be a student. Hello? They have not learned how to be a student. One of the first things they say when you correct them is that, well, I got a better idea. I got one too. Close the door behind you. That's a much better idea. And it kind of evens the score a little bit, you know. They realize that I'm a serious person giving lessons. I love teaching. And occasionally, guys and gals, when a student leaves my room before he or she leaves, I thank him for showing me another way to verbalize what it's going to take me to tell him or her how to get better. There's an art to that. I'm sure Heather's getting better at it because she's teaching you guys and gals. When you guys leave, she not only does like this, oh God, OMG. But somehow she says, man, I had a good lesson with my kids today. They showed me how to get better as a teacher. If you want to see that growth in her, you'll see growth in you as a not the only person in the sandbox. Mr. Fabian, I have to go. I have to I have a meeting with the Japanese ambassador in about an hour. So
Wow.
I gotta kind of
Thank you.
change my
Thank you.
soothing. Okay.
Thank
Anyway,
you for your wisdom.
Thank you,
And thank
kids.
you for the support last year for Sitka Jazz Week.
Yep.
And I hope we inspired some of the students to come to Sitka Jazz Week 2026.
All right. Heather, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Right there.
Yeah, I'm going to stay on for a minute if you want, Heather.
No, that was-
Any comments? So Ron was my mentor for 6 years. What he hasn't told you and what I haven't told you is that he nearly kicked me out. The first 5 lessons were not that great. Every lesson hey, there's Brooklyn. How are you, Brooklyn? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So the first couple of lessons, he always said, "Do you really want to come back next week?" And I said, "Yes, I want to come back next week." He tested me, so I really had to work myself into a position where he really respected my effort. So I don't know these days, people don't do that, but you could tell that Mr. Carter is old school. You know, back in the day, the teacher-student relationship was a little different. You know, as a student, you always did what the teacher told you. And I think for a good student, you still do that to this day. But you know, when I started with Mr. Carter, he asked me, how much do you practice every day? And I said, well, I think I did like half an hour. And I kind of lied. I said, oh, I did 40, 45 minutes. He said, not enough. If you want to study with me, you got to put in at least an hour and a half to 2 hours every day. And I changed. So I started putting in that amount of time every day. And I really improved a lot. And within 2 or 3 weeks, I really improved a lot. And he actually sat me down and he said, you know, that I was ready to stay on as a student. But he really tested me, you know, and I really wanted to be his student, but I had to make some arrangements in my life and I had to carve out some time. So I would stay up later and I would get up earlier in the day. So that's the only way for me how to find more practice time. And that's how I conquered that obstacle. And the result was that I was able to stay with Mr. Carter for 6 years. And then he let me go. He said, basically, I taught you everything I know. I really need to see you play on a gig. And that was kind of just before COVID. And we just reconnected, you know, during COVID. A lot of things changed. But I just had a lesson a week ago. And we're going to keep going onto some stuff, onto some classical music, playing with your fingers. So that's a whole new thing and a whole new level. But and he also had me with an issue I had in the big band. Some guys were showing up late. They were staying up late, and you know, they were doing some things they were not supposed to do. So, and they're grown men, and I asked him for advice, and he helped me because I'm also managing 16 grown-up people in the big band. So we are friends. He's my mentor, and you know, we say we love each other when we meet, and I really appreciate to have him in my life. But I really had to work to be, you know, for him to allow to be a student and for allowing him to be my mentor. So it took a while for me to figure things out. But anyway, so I'm happy he was able to share with you a little bit of what he's all about. And I said to Heather, you know, we never met in person, and we are putting Zoom calls together to motivate you to come to Sitka Jazz Week in 2026. It's August 23rd to the 30th, and the week is amazing. Jack was there. Jack, I'm always using you as an example on these Zoom calls. You know, I remember on the Monday, you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to play. And on Tuesday afternoon, you remembered all the songs you learned with Mrs. Heather Gluth in her class. I don't know what you say, Mrs. or I don't know. Say what?
Miss Gluth.
Mrs.
Miss
Gluth. Okay. Anyway, thanks. And anyway, so Jack, you were all beaming on the second day, right? You had a great time. You figured it all out.
Yeah.
And you had a great time playing.
Oh, yeah,
So,
great.
quick question: how did that help you last year to carry you through the school year from the fall into the spring? How did that affect you, Jazz Week?
Chad, it was actually a kind of a massive shock, honestly. Like going from not playing at all during the summer, like being really rusty, to going straight into getting into performances. It really was like a massive shock. Yeah. Honestly, helped me an insane amount. Just like getting that really uncomfortable place of performing in front of people and like just playing with people you've never played with. And it was just like I learned a lot from it.
And how did it affect your school year? Because it's in the beginning, it's at the end of your summer vacation, right? So the shock you experienced was because you hadn't played your bass probably for a while. But how did it help you getting through the school year, fall and summer, following Jazz Week? How did that, did you think about things which happened at Jazz Week?
Oh yeah. I actually there was a lesson I got from, it was either you or the other really
Jazz.
Chaz. I think it was Chaz actually. He told me that I can apply what I've learned and like the methods I use from jazz and like practicing, and I can apply that to my schoolwork. And it's like just focus on the one small step at a time kind of thing. It's like that honestly helps me a lot getting through my school year, and it's helped me a significant amount.
It's great. So, when you are in Jazz Week, for all of you guys, and Brooklyn is here, you came 2 or 3 years in a row, and I'm gonna give it up to you in a minute. But you're spending a week with very disciplined people who work very hard for their craft. And the great thing about music, I always think once I become a better musician, it always makes me also a better human being. It makes me also being more disciplined in other areas of my life, and I get better in those areas, which makes me a better musician. So I think music and life, it goes hand in hand. And I think what you just said, it's a great example for that. So that's beautiful to hear. And Brooklyn, you came back. So how many Jazz Weeks you have under your belt? 3?
3, yeah.
So how did Jazz Week affected your life? And you're still coming back. You're in college now, and you came
Yeah.
back. You surprised Miss Gluth by showing up there. She didn't know you were coming, and we filmed it. Actually, I still have it on my phone. I should send it to the 2 of you.
Okay.
What made you come back? What is it you enjoy about Jazz Week, and how has it affected your life?
Yeah, I think it's being with other musicians and just being in that uncomfortable place where you feel like you can't really do it, but then at the end you kind of just feel like, oh, I can do this now. And it's easier when you go back into the classroom. And that's all I think. Yeah.
Great. And then we had Kate and David. You did how many Jazz Weeks? You did 2 or 3? I think were you there from year number 1 or year number 2?
Kate's been too long. David, what about you? 2 and 3.
Yeah. What do you think? Did Jazz Week had any impact on your lives in music and in general?
I feel like it's made me less shy because we have to perform so many times in a day.
Great. Awesome. That's great. So to me, sometimes, John Denberg, we are collaborating with John Denberg from the Alaska Jazz Workshop, and he has recently actually done 3 or 4 camps. And he's not shy about it. He's in his early 70s, and we talk a lot. We inspire each other, and as much as Heather, we get inspired by Heather, your great teacher, and we inspire each other in Jazz Week. John has been to 3 camps, and I have been to multiple camps, and sometimes I think it's a successful camp if you get 1 or 2 things out of it which makes you better, either in life, what Jack said, or on the instrument. Sometimes we have these huge expectations, but it can be only 1 or 2 things to change your view on something in music, your life, your personality. And when that happens, to me, it's a full success, because whatever happens there, you will carry that for the rest of your life. That's how I see it. I know a lot of times you get people, they're asking, oh, we want more information about Jazz Week. And I know from myself that you have these grand expectations. You think, sometimes if you really, come for wanting to become a professional musician, you think, or when I go to a workshop, when you didn't do too many, you think it could maybe change your life in an instant, but I noticed that it's the little things which really impact you, which make a big change in your life later, so anyway, but that's beautiful. Anything else? Any other questions, Brooklyn? You have some questions?
I don't.
You don't? Good. What about else? Anyone? Heather Gluth, Miss Gluth, you have some questions? Anything you want me to stress maybe about Jazz Week? It's really, so just to, go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily have any questions, but I just want to, and especially if we share this with other people and my students here, just maybe give a little bit of thoughts about how to prepare for Jazz Week. So coming back in the fall, for our students, it's built into their beginning of the school year. But over the summer months, or as you're thinking, I want to come to Jazz Week, I don't know, what do I need to do about getting ready? So, if you're an instrumental player, I would like to encourage any instrumental player. So whether you're in the classroom or you're watching this later, to grab a couple of charts with your melodies written out of songs that you like. Whether it's a standard like Autumn Leaves, or maybe it's like Blue Skies, or maybe it's another more indie, some Nora Jones, or some jazz chart or piece of music that you really want to do, and to really become familiar with it. Because if you haven't learned and you feel comfortable playing it, the other musicians are going to come together and we're going to create an arrangement on the spot that we're going to travel around and perform. But the more comfortable you are performing that solo piece on your tenor saxophone, or on your vocals, or on your clarinet, or on your trumpet, the better that you're going to be able to feel when you're working with people who have been in the industry for many, many, many years, right? So these people are the best, some of the best musicians in New York City. Ron Carter was talking about how the industry is. There's a lot of great musicians out there on beat. We bring the musicians that are just the most beautiful people who care about teaching you. So, but the better prepared that you could be with one or two songs that you are comfortable playing, that you're not stressed about learning the notes at Jazz Week, the deeper we can give instruction for you. So when you're thinking ahead of time, some of you have instruments that you can take home if you're students at my school. Some of you don't, but listening to that music and studying those notes so that when you are reunited with your instrument, like Jack said at the beginning of the school, without playing, you're able to remember those melodies in your head. You've been listening to them, and then they flow out of your instrument a little bit easier. So by the second day, you're feeling really comfortable. So those are some things that would be super helpful for you. Listening to a lot of jazz, finding some songs, even if you don't have your instrument to play, that would be really nice. But if you are also coming and you're not part of my student classroom, really making sure you have the basics of your songs down, then we can just give a finishing beauty and all of the rehearsal sort of strategies to make you shine throughout the week, because it is a grind. And what Kate has said and what David has told me from different times is that it really puts you into outside your comfort zone, where you can truly learn to love the expression that you're making with your music, that you can break out of any shyness or any of those kind of things. Because by the end, we're just having fun. Our good friend Sergio, who's been on other Zooms, I showed up at the Bayview pub and we were performing in the afternoon. He says, I'm going to sing with you. And I was like, okay, cool. And so we got into kind of a scat battle and we sang back and forth. And when you know your songs that well, you can be flexible in those moments and really get out of it. So I would just encourage everyone to just plan. I'm coming. And then work together and find that music that you can just make sure that you can go. And then we go from there. Then we build ensembles. Then we have other standards that we might want to sing. I'm going to put out a vocal standard list so that any singers who want to do Jazz Week, so that we can have those songs ready, so we can add some harmony and scat and do a few other extras that will be really fun in the vocal area. So that's what I would encourage anyone who wants to be part of it. If you play saxophone in this room, it's the law, you have to join jazz. If you play trumpet, it's the law, you have to join jazz, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, those instruments, are primary basics for the big band style and ensembles with jazz. So anyways, we hope to see everybody. I hope anybody in this room wants to come. Any of my other classes, I'm going to invite, of course. And
Anyone is welcome. Yeah, all instruments, you're really welcome to come.
Are welcome. So.
And everyone is welcome with open arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing that was great, Heather. That was awesome. I just heard a great quote a week or two ago. I don't know if you're familiar with a amazing martial arts fighter. His name was Bruce Lee, and he's been popping up lately on Instagram with a lot of quotes. And what I like about him and his quotes, they're all short. And he said, in one quote, he said, we're always looking for the comfort zone. He actually said, life is not meant to be comfortable, because the growth happens when we are not comfortable. So it's kind of like, what we said on the Zoom call, Sitka Jazz Week, we make you perform. And what Jack was saying, it's a shocking experience. But Jack, I'm just talk to everyone, but I'm just mentioning your name. But the key is really that you embrace your uncomfortable situation, and then the paradox is the opposite happens, what it means being a paradox, and you're growing very quickly by embracing this uncomfortable situation or the discomfort. We are really always trying to avoid uncomfortable situations, but when we actually, he actually says it also. Bruce Lee said, when you face the fear, it goes away. It's very interesting. I don't know, and I think we all maybe have our more or less fair amount of experiences, but I really liked it. It's very motivating. And what happens at Jazz Week, because we're performing from day one, and you experience all, things the shocking experience, uncomfortable, but you're growing really exponentially faster. And I remember, Jack, by day 2 on Tuesday afternoon, you were beaming. You're like, you had the greatest time in the world. I remember these 3 songs. I can still see you talking about it. And look how quick that it changed from one day to the other. A little thing just can change. And that's the great thing about Jazz Week. Because many times you go into a camp or to a workshop and you see the teachers play, you see everyone else play, and you have this one performance at the end of the camp. And then if it goes well, great. If it doesn't go well, then you're walking around with this feeling for a long time. So what we're doing in Jazz Week, we do it the other way around. You have this feeling in the beginning of the week, and then we help you getting all the way rid of it throughout the week. And then you end up halfway through the week, you're like so inspired. I remember some of you came and played the Highliner, and I can just see how much joy you had by Wednesday and Thursday to perform your pieces and everything. It was just beautiful to see. So it's just a decision, right? So just anyway, that's how I do it still. I'm doing solo gigs now during COVID, and I'm so uncomfortable playing just by myself. I never did that before. I'm doing it, and every time I'm learning something from it, and I'm growing exponentially. That means because I'm encouraging myself to go in this uncomfortable situation, and I'm learning much faster than rather doing it the same way, So anyway, that's just my experience. So I hope it helps you in any way. And we're really welcoming everyone, any instrument, and we really want to share with you the similar experience. So it will make some changes in the music, and it also can make, as I said earlier, make some changes. What Jack said, it affected some of the other classes you were having. So music is amazing, Anyway, it's a pleasure to see you all. And thanks for making it happen, Heather. How long is your class period?
I custom too, but that's still a lot. That's a long time. So
yeah, I mean, this is
either way.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. I'm glad it worked out. Brooklyn, anything? How's college for you?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You have a good time?
Yeah.
Awesome. How does it feel for you to looking in your old classroom? You're missing being there?
Yep.
See, you have a great music teacher, everyone in the class. Miss Gluth is amazing. She's really inspiring you. And I know that probably on some mornings or some days you feel tired, but it's really a special place. Just, and when I was back at one of the camps in Sitka, I was actually teaching in that room as well for 3 years. Was teaching jazz band and big band, and I love that room. It's a lot of great memories there, and just enjoy music, enjoy being with Miss Gluth, and enjoy what you're doing. And yeah, if you can put in a little more hours in music, would be great. What I like about when I practice and when I perform, I always feel great. It always helps me forget everything else. What Mr. Carter was saying, no matter what's going on in the world, you touch your instrument and you really immerse yourself into music. I think it's just a beautiful space. to be in. I cannot get enough. I want to do it all the time, you know. I want to learn more. I want to sing more. I want to play my bass more. I want to arrange more. And yeah, and if you have a chance, check out sitkajazzweek.org. I'm going to upload the Zoom call if you want to listen to some of the things you heard today. Again, I'm going to have it on our YouTube channel, Sitka Jazz Week on YouTube, and then we have it on, yeah, that's where we have it. That's where I will upload the call. And then if you want to go to our website, sitkajazzweek.org, and also if you want to send an email, you can stay in touch with us at sitkajazzweek@gmail.com. So you can always reach out to us, and David and Kate and Jack, if you want to get in touch with Jazz or have some questions. You know, we kind of never really promote that. But the thing about, if you're part of Jazz Week, you're part of the community for the entire year. So you don't have to wait till the next year. You can always ask a question. You can always reach out to us. We will always be there for you, you know. So anyway, that's how it works. Cool. Anything else? Any questions? Yes, go ahead. Is that an arm?
No. I don't
Front
know.
row? No, I saw something going up. Looks like a hand. Yes.
When's the next time you come to Sitka?
I will be in Sitka probably starting the end of April. I will have a performance with the Lionel Hampton Big Band, April 25th. And I think going to Sitka coming April 26th, as it stands right now. I'm always keeping a little open. Last year I was there in May. And then I had a tour, and I went to Juneau for a week, and I went to Europe for 3 weeks. So, but right now, the plan is to be in Sitka April 26th. And then I will be there for the most part, getting ready for Jazz Week. There's a lot of elements, and I always, you guys, I always give everyone credit. So, Ms. Gluth and Maud Edgecombe, you're a big backbone for Sitka Jazz Week. And we have a lot of other people like Zul Bailey and Alex Serio. Sitka Music Festival is another backbone. They're really helping us for the location, and a lot of teachers. I really encourage you to go check some of the other Zoom calls we did. You will meet Bernard Purdy. You will meet Sergio. He was just on a call yesterday morning, and you hear us talk about Jazz Week. It's very, very inspiring. And there's a lot of elements involved with Jazz Week. So to really get an idea what this is all about, again, we perform every day and then we take it from there. But we're really all there for you, for everyone. We are there for each other. And I don't know if you're talking about it, Heather, but there will be some great surprise this year.
Oh, yeah, there will be a great
There
surprise.
will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heather is part on a CD. She's singing her heart out, and it's amazing. It's really coming together.
And it sounds good so
It
far.
sounds good so far, yeah. So you will hear Heather play with a lot of great people who come to Sitka Jazz Week. So I just want to point that out, you know, although, you know, there's a lot of greatness in Sitka, and you know, you not always have to go out. The greatness might come to you because you're great, you know, and then you'll be able to perform with some of the great musicians coming to Sitka. So anyway, and anyway, I won't say no more. It's going to be great. And how you want to do this? Just sign off officially?
Yeah, let's officially sign off. We have a few minutes we can play together today.
Sounds great. Thanks for everything. Going to look forward to see you.
Christian.
I will be in Sitka by the end of April, and all the best to you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, Christian.
Bye-bye.
Bye.